The American dream embodies the promise that regardless of one's background, anyone can achieve prosperity and success through hard work and determination. Or at least that's what our founding fathers thought. And as Thomas Jefferson once famously said, we hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, except for Steve. Steve owes me $5. Wait, I actually don't think that's what he said, but what I do know is that the American dream has inspired generations to pursue a better life.
Now this is why I came to America.
How much do you really need to earn to live the American dream? And is the American dream still alive? Hi, and welcome back. My name is Ukash Finance, and yes, that is my real name. It has been way too long since my last video. Anyone who thinks that making YouTube videos is easy, maybe think again.
You fool.
Just kidding. But let's get back to the topic of how much you would need to earn to live the American dream. A study done by Go Banking Rates, where they defined the American dream as being married, owning a home, and having 2 children and a car, showed that the minimum amount required to live the American dream was $109,000. And this was in good old Mississippi.
In Mississippi, there's a law preventing counties, districts, and towns from limiting portion sizes. So if you go to the store and you want to get a giant Coke, you get your giant Coke.
Guess that's how they keep it affordable. The good old Coke trick. And in some states like Hawaii and California, that income was as high as $260,000.
Hawaii, California, and Massachusetts are the most expensive. Each requires an annual income of more than $240,000.
But there are obviously a lot of variables that impact how much you would need to earn to live the American dream, such as your cost of living, your experience and educations, lifestyle choices like how many Starbucks you buy versus making coffee at home.
Let me get a frate motete, and then let me get a Trenta pinkity drinkity.
Drinkity pinkity dink.
Ah, my favorite drink. So in this video, I want to talk about some things that can hinder you from reaching the American dream. And in the end, I want to offer some tips that can help you. The first thing is that inflation is transitory, means a million different things.
So I think the word transitory has different meanings to different people.
Inflation reduces the purchasing power of money, meaning that your dollars buy less than they did before.
Inflation, it's eroding people's purchasing power. It's reducing their ability to save for their future or invest in these long-term goals.
This makes it harder to afford basic needs like housing, food, and healthcare, let alone save for future goals, which is what we need to do to eventually reach the American dream. In fact, according to the Bureau of Economics Analysis, Americans are only saving 3.2% of their personal income, which is income that is left over after paying taxes. And the second thing is that things that used to work before, like getting a high school diploma, getting a job, working hard, buying a house, and then being able to start a family, just doesn't work anymore.
It used to be that you could get out of school, get a job, buy a home, and start a family, and now those milestones are harder to achieve.
It used to be that a high school degree, you're good to go. You could get a great job building cars or something and be right in the middle class off of a high school degree. But now, in order to get into the middle class, a high school degree is clearly not enough.
Now, typically people go to college for 4 years and graduate with thousands of dollars in debt and then get a job that doesn't pay nearly enough to pay back the student loans. The average student loan debt in America is $29,400, and according to bankrace.com, the average college graduate is earning $58,900 annually. And after taxes, that comes to around $3,454 monthly. That means that it would take 5 to 20 years just to pay off your student loans, which makes it harder to save and invest and eventually earn the American dream.
Student loan debt reached an all-time high of $1.77 trillion in the first quarter of 2023. This can have a ripple effect, especially when entire generations are starting their adulthoods with thousands of dollars in debt.
The third thing is credit card debt, which is now collectively at $1.3 trillion combined for all Americans. This is because Americans are using credit cards for daily necessities such as food, clothing, and medicine.
Debt growth became a substitution for income growth. More than a quarter of Americans said that they are doom spending or spending money despite economic concerns.
Because the price of everything is going up, credit cards have become a way to support the lack of income. And according to the most recent data available from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, the average American has $7,951 in credit card debt. The last thing is that for almost the last half century, U.S. incomes have stagnated, which economists are calling the Great American Stagnation.
Calls the economic mess we're in these days the Great Stagnation.
A typical family in 2019 had actually a net worth slightly lower than the typical family in 2001. And also, children born in the 1940s had a 90% chance of out-earning their parents. And for children born in the 1980s, that number has dropped to 50%. So you have student loans at 30K, credit cards debt at 8,000, and income stagnation. So what is the solution? Well, I am not going to pretend that I have all the answers, but what I do know is that an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure.
I'm a board certified diagnostician.
A survey conducted by CNBC Make It found that 32% of people said that their discretionary spending was the #1 cause of their current credit card debt, and that Americans spend an average of $483 a month on non-essentials such as dining out, entertainment, luxury items, and vacations. So pro tip #1, if you don't have the money for that vacation to Bali, maybe go next year when you have saved enough money for it.
Smart.
Also, more than half of college graduates are working in jobs that don't require degrees, or that is not even related to what they got that degree in the first place. To me, it just seems like there are better ways to spend $30,000.
Shut up and take my money.
Maybe try working for a year or two till you find out what you really want to do and get a degree in that field. And lastly, I don't think the American dream is dead today. I think it just feels like it is dead because there are more exciting options available today that steer you away from acquiring the American dream. Things like credit cards might seem cool at first, but if not used responsibly, can lead you to a cycle of bad choices and eventually a lifetime of debt. I think if you stick to a lifestyle within your budget and invest at an early age, you can still achieve the American dream. If you found value in this video, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, and make sure to comment on if you think the American dream is still alive today.